Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name's Alan Richardson. I'm the managing broker at Maximum One.
And I am Ming Richardson. I am the compliance broker for Maximum One.
Oh, Realtor Partners, sorry. Thank you. So this is going to end up going out to the whole company. So weekly, we have started sending out kind of a weekly state of the market, what's going on, mini sales meeting, that kind of thing. Just try and keep everyone online and up to date about what's really happening and what we're seeing in the marketplace and those kind of things. And we kind of wanted to start off with our funny saying up here. For those who have lost track, today's Blair's Day, the 14th of Mapleberry. And that's because so many of us are getting out of sync right now. Everything just feels discombobulated, not normal. We've lost our sense of routines, and we really need to strive to get back into those.
Normal.
We need to, but the thing is that we've got to be ready to make this the new normal. It's time to address that and look at it in a very realistic way. So we're just kind of run through a bunch of stuff today and try to bring everyone up to speed here. So first of all, we're having a lot of issues with government-backed securities. It's
there
okay.
You go.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I'll move.
All right, but a lot of our loans, we're having a lot of loan issues right now that we need to be concerned about, and we need to make sure our clients are concerned out there. Many lenders are having a really hard time getting loans done right now. Some are not writing FHA, VA, or USDA loans. Jumbo loans have literally gone by the wayside. There is no more jumbo loans out there right now. Most of our DPA programs are temporarily suspended as well. Georgia Dream. We've had a lot of instances where a lot of DPAs have just kind of gone, evaporated kind of thing. The challenge is that in the secondary mortgage market is having a lot of problems, and those are the people who end up buying those bundles of loans. And because that's happening, it's causing a kind of a backlog, and it's coming all the way out to regular housing. A lot of our lenders now are requiring 640, 680, 660. We've sent a couple at 620, but they're far and few between kind of thing.
Well, with the 620, just so you know, the interest rate are anywhere from 7 even to up to 10%, which means higher monthly mortgage payment. So their buying power right now is less than what it used to be. And this can cause an influx and also, I guess, fear among some of the buyers.
Well, and it really changes the dynamic for so many of our clients. If you're at a 620 or we've heard of some lenders that will still do it at a 580 at 10%. And so that just seems ridiculous in today's market. And at 10%, their payment completely changes. And now that's not a viable loan. So basically, the lenders are saying they don't want to write that loan kind of thing. So we really need to help our clients get their credit reports up.
It's not necessarily the lender; it's what the market is indicating right now. So the investor, due to the stock crash, a lot of investors are not willing to take any risky loans, and this is what's causing the credit score to go up. And you may have a client that just got to 620, and what that means is that it may take them a longer time to purchase a home to get them up to 640, 680, whatever they need to be on the interest percentage rate in order to be happy with their monthly payment. So it's not the end of the world. It may just take your client a little bit longer. So it is pertinent that you have a great communication with your lender to see what is the climate and understand every lender has their own guideline. Okay, not all lenders are equal. So therefore, just have a good relationship, have a conversation with them, and they'll be more than happy to talk to you.
Also, we're having, this, let me back up. This is a fluid situation. The issues that we're having right now are mainly with folks who had loans out there already and are now having trouble getting to the closing table with them. If you have a client that's locked in a lot of cases, they really are locked in. We have had some lenders that have not, even after the lock, have not followed through on their commitments. And that, to me, says a lot about the caliber of that lender. The other thing is that this is going to be a fluid situation. So the issues we're having right now is not necessarily issues that we're going to have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month from now kind of thing. So this is something that we're going to have to deal with right now. We need to know what's going on. We need to be knowledgeable of what's happening in our marketplace, and we need to advise our clients, but understand that this is not necessarily the new norm. That's just issues that we're having to deal with right now.
Yes.
All right, next, contract terminations, because we are having some of those. So the first thing up is that our GAR forms and our RE forms, neither one have a force majeure clause in it. And what a force majeure clause basically, and I'm no attorney, but just, overall, force majeure is a catastrophe clause. Basically, if global catastrophic events happen, that this contract can be terminated. Well, the challenge is that our contracts don't have those. For most, our GAR and our RE forms do not have those. So that's leaving a lot of our buyers and our sellers. A lot of our buyers are like, well, I don't feel comfortable closing. Well, is there earnest money at risk? Absolutely. They could definitely lose their earnest money for our buyers. The other side of that is, is it right for the sellers to hold the property off the market either? Most of the time, though, we can work through a lot of these issues if we'll just communicate. Communicating is going to be one of the big things where people are just kind of understanding what's going on and be wise. And again, anything that we can get two parties to agree to,
it's always a great thing.
Yeah, it's much, much better. So, what happens with if the courts interpret this differently? That's way beyond me. But I can tell you that right now our GAR forms, our RE forms don't have this clause, and so that doesn't give our clients a get out of jail free card if they're feeling anxious and worried and that kind of stuff. Our iBuyers, on the other hand, do have force majeure clauses, and so we're seeing our iBuyers are leaving a lot of our clients high and dry.
Yes.
A lot of our builders do have force majeure clauses in theirs, but they don't care. They want to close, so we're not having issues with the builders pulling through on their force majeure clause because they really want to. But really, at this point, we just need to be the voice of reason. We need to be the voice of calm. We need to try and keep everyone focused about what's really going on and their needs, wants, desires, the whole 9 yards there. So are we seeing some contracts terminate? We are. It's not nearly to the extent that everyone thinks, but I would say that we're down probably 20% right now. So, that's something that's continuing that we're going to have to fight through these next couple of weeks.
And it's not the contract or terminating. It's not because a buyer or seller want to in some situation. It's because, unfortunately, some company are laying off people. And so therefore they no longer have an employment. And you guys know that lender always get a verification of employment right before closing, just to ensure that buyer is still good to go.
Well, not only are they doing that, they're also making sure that they still are having the same hours that they work and the same pay. They don't want to see that their pay and hours can't be reduced. We've also had contracts die for that reason.
And you have gotten a email from GAR reference to the COVID-19 special step. Please make that your standard special step language now. And we also have shared that through our water cooler. If you need a copy of it, just contact any branch manager. They should have a copy of it as well. And we just it's better to over communicate right now. I promise you. And then also right now, because I know some files are not materializing, and you're probably already counting on this money because it's a solid client. But the thing is, emotions gonna get high. Please refrain from the emotional state. Try to look at things objectively, because you're going to see agents flying off right now simply because their finance is being impacted.
Stress.
Yes.
So, all right. Also, you're going to see a whole lot of information right now going out on loan forbearance. And if you have clients, if you have an FHA backed loan, this is something we really need to be reaching out to our clients right now, because loan forbearance is one of the things that's part of this stimulus package that a lot of people are hearing about. But there's some real key items that we need to be very conscious of, and we need to make sure our clients are conscious of. And so first thing is we need to inform our clients that they need to read their loan documents and see what happens, with a forbearance. Because the way that the law states is that, yes, you can have a forbearance of up to 180 days, most of the time 90 days, but up to 180 days. But what that really means is, yes, you can have a forbearance, but at the end of that time, they got to pay the loan back. They have to pay all that amount back in full.
It's a balloon payment, so it does not go back in your loan. It's actually a balloon payment at the end of 4 months. So if your client have not saved up thinking that it's going back toward the end of their loan, that's not the case.
Well, it could be the case. And that's the thing, is that depending on the loan documents, depending on the lender, depending on what kind of agreements are already in place, that it may add to the end of their loan, but it may not. And so we need to be advising our clients that if all they're reading is the headlines, yay, you can do mortgage forbearance, watch out, because in 3 months they could be asking, the bank could be saying, okay, now I need 3 months of your mortgage payments, and now they're in real trouble, because who's got 3 months stay? They couldn't make 1 month, so now they're trying to catch up 3. So I worry about this, because what I don't want to see is that clients are not prepared for what's really going on. We in the real estate industry need to be the voice of reason. We also need to be the voice advising our clients what's really going on, and that they need to read their loan documents. They need to understand this, because what I don't want to see is we could see a rash of foreclosures come out after this, simply because people think that they can push this off to the end, kind of thing. All right, now shelter in place and real estate. How does it work? So first of all, a lot of counties, a lot of cities are calling real estate an essential business. California just on Saturday added real estate to a list of essential businesses. We deal with trust funds. We are dealing with people's homes and lives. And so on one hand, it can definitely be an essential business. What I don't want to put out there is that we don't need to be wise, and we don't need to be smart, and that we don't need to follow the same safety precautions. Now we're obviously closer than 6 feet, but we're married, so it's okay. But we really do need to be practicing these safe systems, and in areas where there is a shelter in place, has real estate been deemed to be a necessary business? And, like for our Conyers office, it has been in that area. It does have a shelter in place, but real estate is listed as a necessary business, and they're not stopping people. They said if it's people out showing houses and they're being wise, they're not stopping them. And so it's just one of those things where, yes, this is going on. We also have to be wise about our personal situations. If you have any kind of existing health conditions, things like that, you really need to be really smart about that. And we don't need to tempt fate with these kind of things. That being said, we also have the ability to operate somewhat. If you've been out shopping around and like go to Home Depot, for example, we got these big, long, crazy lines of people 6 and 8 feet apart, kind of thing. So people are trying to get through life, but trying to be smart. I can't say I'm not touting that that's the greatest way to be, but it's just one of those things where sometimes you have to get things done, and those are issues that we're going to continue to have to deal with. Real estate is another one that we need to deal with as well in there, and just look at your personal situation, what's really going on there, kind of thing. One thing that we do need to be looking at is updating our listing and our showing procedures. What's going, or how are we showing and listing properties, kind of thing. So a couple of things that we really need to put in place. First of all, no one should be inside a home that's been outside the U.S. for the last 14 days. When clients go into the home, no shoes. Have them take their shoes off. It's a nice thing. They need to be practicing social distancing when they come in. When clients come into houses, don't touch anything. We need to ask them not to touch anything. And in turn, to do that, sellers need to leave lights on. They need to leave all the doors open. The only thing we and our sellers, our buyers, really should be touching is the front doorknob, kind of thing. And then to go through property disclosures given well in advance. Offering out hand sanitizer, face masks, those kind of things for clients. But it's just about being smart, because on one hand, it's one of those where a lot of clients are apprehensive, but there's also people that need homes. And so, we're also entrusted with helping people with that. So how do we continue to do business? Because if you choose to shove your head in the sand about this, well, I can tell you that's exactly, you're bearing your business along with it, kind of thing. I'm not saying not to be that if you have health issues and that kind of stuff that you should risk it. I'm not trying to risk it, but I am trying to say that on one hand we have a group of people that say I'm done, business is over, and then we have another group that says, you know what, we're still doing a lot of business. We had properties that houses went under contract this weekend. Multiple homes went under contract this weekend. Paperless pipeline is continuing to work. So if you're choosing to work, you just got to be really smart about how you're going to work through this.
Be safe.
Yeah. All right. Now, the Supreme Court on Friday, Georgia Supreme Court on Friday allowed transactions allowed closings by video conference, and so this is a new change. We haven't really seen it. This just happened Friday, so obviously there's not been any closings going out. How this goes out into practice, I can't really say. But what we are seeing is that you've got to be really, really flexible right now in the closing process. A lot of our attorneys are really great trusted partners that we have used and need, and they've been really good about this kind of thing, and I appreciate them. Now sometimes we can't go to closings. How do we do that? Sometimes, and now there's an option to be able to do closings through video conference, which is going to be a whole new thing that starts happening. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all this happens. But understand.
But don't be surprised if you get an invite from the attorney to do video conferencing closing. I think some attorney only allow buyers to the closing table and no agents. Sometimes the seller can be assigned remotely, and but it's a buyer's signature they need for the lender. So as far as some of you are asking, say, what about DA? Our policy is that if you're not at closing, you cannot get DA. Okay. And if you want the attorney to wire your commission to the brokerage for faster disbursement, understand there is a wiring fee. If you are going to do that, please give me at least 24 hours advance notice prior to closing, because the attorney still got to call me to verify the wire instruction due to wire fraud. And I would like to get your money to you as quickly as possible, but cautiously. Understand, if you get your money, if I get wire in, but you don't upload the Alta statement, I will not disperse. Your closing task is still due prior to disbursement. So just keep that in mind.
Cool. All right, we want to get your money as quickly as possible. We're trying to make as many options available for you. We're all working on it the same way, kind of thing. So next is, we are all small business owners.
Absolutely.
We need to make sure that we're understanding what's going on with the stimulus. Now, I say that, we should understand there's a lot of gray areas still. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some data about the new stimulus package, how that pertains to small businesses, and then we're also going to follow up with you a little bit more on the later. So first thing is, are you eligible? And this is for the small business loans, and because some of these small business loans may not necessarily have to be paid back, and I'll explain that a little bit. So first of all, you're eligible if you're a small business with 500 employees. You guys are small. I mean, you don't work for the broker.
Right.
You are a small business person. So, and guess what? You have one. A lot of you have one employee, kind of thing. So you are your own small business, kind of thing. So the majority of real estate agents will definitely be eligible, kind of thing. What are the lenders going to be looking for, kind of thing? So they're going to be looking to see that we have that we can show business. And as far as what makes that, what constitutes that business is, for us, it's going to be commissions. And so, we have to show, in order to get a small business loan in the past, you had to submit all this documentation. We're looking at really probably about a 2-page document that has to get submitted. We're waiting on those details. Megan and I are going to be going to a small business SBA meeting on Tuesday to get more details. And then as soon as we have that, we'll share that out with you, kind of thing. The application process through this is going to be much smoother, simpler, kind of thing, and also much quicker, kind of thing.
But as the information comes down, right now it's very generic. So SBA and the government is supposed to publish that out tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll get a little more defined information. As we get it, we will post it to you guys and let you know.
Yeah. So how much can you borrow? All right. So
The current guideline.
Yeah,
The current
the
guideline.
current guidelines is that loans are 2.5 times what your average monthly payroll costs are. And so for agents, your average monthly payroll cost is what your average monthly commissions are, kind of thing. So if you make about $4,000 a month, well, then you should be able to borrow $10,000 kind of thing. It just kind of depends on what that number is. I mean, if you make $10,000 a month, you should be able to borrow $25,000. So it's whatever that is, kind of thing. And so, that form will make that also much easier to pass out, kind of thing. What are payroll costs? Well, for agents, it's going to be your commission, kind of thing. You can't take into what isn't payroll costs are like alimony payments, things from your investments, that kind of stuff. Those are things that will be excluded from that list. And then, will this loan be forgiven, kind of thing. And so the loan is set up to be forgiven so long as you don't let people go. And since you are a small business person, I'm pretty sure you're not going to fire yourself. So, it really does kind of qualify along those lines, kind of thing. The other thing is that even though this will be based on payroll, these loans can be used for rent on a leasing agreement, or your mortgage payments, or for other expenses as well, kind of thing. And so I'll be sharing this document from
after tomorrow.
I'll share this document as well. This is from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, kind of thing. And so we'll be sharing this onto the we'll put this in the workplace. We'll probably put it on Facebook as well, so you guys can see the entire document. I know it's a little bit fuzzy on the screen, so we'll be sharing this to you as well. So more information is going to follow. We'll put it out on Facebook, workplace, and try and get it out in the newsletter, the whole 9 yards. Most experts are saying we should expect a 1 to 2 page document that we're going to need to fill out to submit. This is going to be done through probably smaller local regional banks, that kind of thing is what we're expecting. So Ming and I are going to a meeting on Tuesday. As soon as we have more information, we will share that back out with the group. So it's hard to see, sorry. Unemployment claims hit a new high.
Record high.
Yeah, well, 3.3 million unemployment claims. This is a biggie. And that is a massive number. And so does that mean that we're in a recession? Yes, it is. Okay, just accept it. Okay, we are in a coronavirus recession. But that being said, that doesn't mean that business is done. It doesn't mean that our business is done. We're in a coronavirus recession. We're in a COVID-19 recession, meaning that when COVID-19 has abated, the recession is gone, and the recovery begins at that point. Housing is in a very, very strong position to carry us through the recovery. So are we going to see a drop? Yes, but we are also poised to see the upside of that as well. If we're still working, if we're engaging our clients, we can't just be like, oh, well, it's done. Now's the time that we need to be doubling down on our engagement with our clients, kind of thing. Now's not the time to quit. We don't, I love this quote from Napoleon Hill. Kind of, one of the most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary defeat. This is the epitome of temporary defeat. Okay?
Absolutely.
Right now, our economy is getting its teeth kicked in. It's gonna happen. Accept it. But that being said, do you just choose to say, okay, I'm it's done. I'm beaten. I'm just gonna lay here and die? No. Now's the time to really be engaging, because at the same time, we polled and said, what do you believe is the safest investment over the next 10 years? Hands down, housing, real estate. It's the most solid, stable, safest investment for our clients. And wealth in the U.S. is tied up in our clients' home ownership.
Right.
Home ownership is where they're getting their value from. So One thing that we are going to be trying to offer next week, hopefully next week, we'll be putting the calendar out. So as a company, all of Maximum One, we're getting together and we're going to be doing Zoom classes, Zoom CE classes. So CE classes have to, for the virtual classes, they have to be approved by GREC. Dana Sparks has really done a great job on getting all that kind of thing together.
Thank you, Dana.
Yeah, we're putting on, and so we'll be teaching those over the course of the next couple of weeks. We're trying to get those started right now. We played with Zoom the whole 9 yards this past weekend, so we'll be able to start doing online virtual CE classes where you can actually get CE credit. Do understand that you'll have to when you join the meeting, you'll have to sign in with your name and your license number. There'll be a break just like a normal one, and when you come back, you have to sign in with your name and your license number, and then at the end of the class, you have to sign out with your name and your license number. All that happens, and then we'll be able to give CE credit during that time, kind of thing.
Do you need the video on for Zoom classes?
No, but I guess you can watch in your underwear, but we prefer if you had some kind of clothes on, kind of thing. They say that right now that online sales of shirts is really high, but nobody's buying pants for some reason. So that being said, no, you don't have to have the video on for the Zoom classes. One thing that if you are a realtor, something that's come out that's a very nice benefit for realtors is NAR has rolled out Right Tools Right Now. And what that is it's a whole series of online CE classes as well. Some are 6-hour CE classes. There's certification classes. In the past, all these were pay, and they still have a set of them that are still pay, but they've added a ton of free ones now. And so there's some really nice, if you are a realtor, there's some really nice benefits out there for being able to utilize those tools as well.
And as far as realtor goes, that means you have to pay your dues, and you have to have had your ethic class. If you don't have neither one of those, you probably will not get access to it.
But you can take your ethics class online, so
yes.
it's not a big deal there. So, all right. So let's talk about best practices from working to home, because we have to be able to work differently than we have in the past. It's just a reality of what's going on. Just because we're working from home doesn't mean that we're not working, and it doesn't. And even though we're apart, there's still a lot of things that we can do. So we have to, what does working look like to you now? And so the very first thing is what's your environment? Because a lot of us, our home environment, where we work at home, it can't be the same place where we can't hang out on the kitchen table or on the coffee table or in the living room. You have to have a place where you go to do work, where I step into this spot, I start working. You have to have an environment that is conducive to work, especially for a lot of us, we have kids at home. And so you've got to have that space, that time. This is my workspace. This is when I step into here, I'm going to work, and I go there to get things done. Next thing is, what's your schedule? Right now, a lot of us don't know what time. It's like we live in Vegas all of a sudden. We don't know. There's no clocks on the wall. We don't know what day it is, that kind of stuff. Like, we've got to still have a real work schedule that follows us through and helps us achieve our goals, kind of thing. The whole idea of, okay, well, I guess we just sit back and cruise. We're going to have a lot of agents that do that. And if you just sit back and cruise, in a month or two from now, you're going to be like, man, I don't know where my business is. Now's the time to build those relationships, kind of thing. What does your daily to-do list look like? We need to be creating new relationships. We really need to be reaching out and engaging a whole lot of, new clients, old clients.
Think about it. They're just like you. They're at home. And a little social interaction will be lovely, because right now, a lot of people are going stir crazy. So if you can just reach out to them, if nothing else, just chit chat for a bit and find out what their needs are. I bet you money that will go a long way when the market is back to normal, and you'll be the first in mind for them.
Yeah. And we've been trying to share a lot of information for you to be able to share out as well. In one workplace, you'll see we've been sharing social media images and different stats and numbers that we have. We have a Keeping Current Matters subscription, so we try and share a lot of the information out that you in turn can go and share out with your clients. But we need to be reaching out really heavily in social media right now. A lot of people are just sitting around with their thumb up their caboose on Facebook. We need to be engaging on there. We need to be sending text messages, making phone calls. We need to be emailing, handwritten notes. These are really great things. Another thing I'm going to share with you is 100 ways 100 conversation starters. And so I'm going to be sharing that on as one of the links in here as well, because the thing is that we can take this as, oh, well, business stinks, unemployment claims are up, we're just call it quits. Well, if you choose to do that, then that's on you. But I can tell you, for a lot of folks, this is just the time to up their engagement, to build their relationships. You've got a couple of weeks, honestly, to really dive in and go deep with your clients, because once we start coming out of this, we're gonna jump right back in. We were down at 3 months.
Of a lot of social activities as well, being out, just trolling around. I mean, it's going to come back.
So this is our norm for the next couple of weeks. While that is, be setting yourself up so that when
make
the
new business plans.
Yeah, that's it.
Make your new business plan and execute them.
So we hope that this has been helpful. If we can do anything, please reach out. We're available: phone, text, smoke signals, workplace. We just don't really care. So we're here to support you in anything that we can do. All the offices are still open. A lot of them have a branch man. The branch manager is still there. Some you may need to have to use your key fob to get in, because depending on where the location is, it may not necessarily be open, but we are in place and open at this moment. So please continue to get out there. Don't just roll over and let this destroy your business. So we love and appreciate you all very much.
Absolutely.
So,
we wish you well,
right.
and stay well.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye now.
Bye.